Dur, uskere. Oturma. Gel, hadi. Siz bakıyor. O kasokya var uskere. Birinchi urgansan. Tutuyorsan. Yaxshi. Yana qo'sh. Hop.
Chala tegdi.
O'shancha yaqinlashmaganman bolam. Nodir, sen ushoqsan. Seni yaqinlashtirma uni. Nima?
Да. Не вот так. Зачем что ты делаешь? Uni qo'ysa, Nodir, uni qo'y, uni.
O'shashma bolam, o'shashma. Shuningni Nodir. Biz yutishga kelganmiz. Shuningni rosa takka kelganmiz.
Uni kutma, uni. Bakol. Şarşadı, oldu şarşadı.
Diğer.
Head up.
Gel bakıyor. Yaşa. Gel. Siz bakıyor. Verme udalı gel. Yaşa. Böyle devam. Siz gel vuracağız diyor. Bakalım. Polis kapat. Hadi. Sen orada işte. Orada çıkar git sıra dur. Orada çıkar. Yaşa. Selam.
Шех, на базар. Çıkarıp kellegen vur. Çıkarıp. Şey, hadi. Bang, bang, bang. Bol, 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 bol. Bang, bang, bang. Bol, 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 bang, bang. Şimdi çıkarım hop. Boşuna.
Yaxshi mana tez. Deydi. Shuni bos, yaxshi. Yaxshi, qo'sh, yaxshi. Sigarga bos, yaxshi. Sen mushuksan. Mana tegishdi bir ezikka. Hop, o'tiradi hozir, tegishdi. Yur, orqa qo'ydi. Yaxshi. O'tiradi bak ko'rishsan. Давай, давай,
Foydasi yo'q ertaga. Botir yaxshi, botir. Botir tur. Botir tur. Ol. Nima gapimmi? Foydasi yo'q ertaga. Nima?
Nagiro bu. Sigar qara. Turibdi yo'q so'rab qo'ydi. Sigar olib. Aşağı bir iki çıkar. Tamam.
Ulan gel de bak tutma bunu.
Tamam. Bastır.
Ola bak dur. Ola bu çıkıyor mu? Ola bu çıkıyor. Tekleme.
Tekleme.
Tamam.
Ay şunu. Aşağı bir iki. Tamam. Yasın.
Koyma hadi. Tamam.
Tutma.
Ha.
Tamam. Yasın.
Buna yaptı. Ortadan bastı.
Ses gibi! Uzuyor buranın çırpası!
Yerler işmişizde mutlu.
Nerede bakmasın? Halledin bitti! Hadi bir şey! Aşağı bitti! Çıkarma! Devam edin! Öbürünü batkın! Çıkarma! Çıkarma adamı! Aşağı otur olacaktı! Nasıl? O seni! Ayağına bak çabuk! Vur! Oldu bunu iyice! Давай!
Чуть ближе, чуть ближе.
Motor çarpsana!
Хорошо, сейчас еда.
Давай! Речу!
Отлично.
Aşağı bırak çabuk! Çıkardı!
Stop!
Boşaş başlarsın!
Динал.
Hadi çıkardı uçur! O çarpı! Ses kime?
Отлично. Еда. Хорошо. Вот. Контроль.
Давай! Что там?
Точка. Yendi başka. Başka boş bakın. Вот она, вот. Сейчас паузу дал, паузу. Давай, не давай паузу.
Gel bakayım var. Ne zaman Раунд, мужик, бой! Жмира!
Вот она.
Давай!
Ручку ярче, отработай.
Чуть-чуть разорвал дистанцию, а потом вот центр сразу под контроль возьми. Ты издалека хочешь бросить, ты контроль. Я вот разорвал, чуть-чуть подвигался, ринге кірмейді, вот центрге. Аяқпен жақындалды, контроль ұста. И потом уже не головой.
He's continuing to seek to bustle his way forwards back into range. Nice head movement from Mirzakhmedov. His left uppercut was off the mark. Oh, there's a good two-shot combination. It was set up by a left uppercut and it just bobbled the head of Jasupov. But he took the punch as well and he retained his boxing stance halfway through the 8th and final round. Reaching for the right cross, only to be countered by a right jab with Jasupov, but Jasupov keeping the straight punches going once again. Bobbing and weaving his way back into his own preferred territory is Mirzakhmedov. Good right hand driven into the body by Jasupov, looking for a counter with his own southpaw. And he did find success with Jasupov momentarily against the ropes. Now he's back to the space of center ring, and the two men letting their hands go. And the final word in the trade-off enjoyed by Mirzakhmedov, but back comes Jasupov like the champion that he is, scoring first down to the body, then to the head, as he's up on his toes once more. Mirzakhmedov saying stand and fight, reminiscent to what the late great marvelous Marvin Hagler was reputed to have said to the incomparable Sugar Ray Leonard during their middleweight clash all those years ago. But it's Jasupov boxing to his strength, not getting drawn into a war of machismo. And the 10-second clapper sees Jasupov get over the front foot and seek to let his hands go in combination fashion once more. Responding in kind is Mirzakhmedov, and that is the bell to conclude a terrific contest between two familiar rivals. Two of the very best in the business over the 3-round format of IBA boxing. This man a 2-time Asian Continental champion. The man in the black corner, a 2021 world champion. They faced off on this man's run to the gold medal rostrum in the 2021 World Championships in the Serbian capital, Belgrade. And for what it's worth, I happen to think it's going to be a repeat victory for Jasupov, but not without picking up some war wounds, because you can see he's cut on the right eye, an injury that was perhaps started in the 7th round, exacerbated in the 8th. Nadirjon Mirzakhmedov cut in the 3rd round around his left eye. But I think the victor here is going to be the man in the black corner, the man on right of screen, Tamirtas Jasupov of Kazakhstan. And of course, when these Central Asian nations clash, the rivalry between the neighboring nations always adds an extra element. And my goodness, didn't these men fight with a ferocious intensity here tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, please show your appreciation for both of our boxers. Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of boxing, we go to your judges' scorecards where we have a split decision in favor of your winner. In the black corner, representing Kazakhstan, Temiraz Yusupov.
I go biblical, my body so third eye, been spiritual. I'm on the crossroads every day, but I'm got it though. This is free.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are now ready for our next contest of the evening. It's 8 3-minute rounds in the light heavyweight or 80-kilogram weight division. Please welcome to the ring first, coming into the black corner, representing Tanzania, it's Yusuf Changalawe. Democratic Republic of Congo, it's Peter Kabe. And gentlemen, this is IBA Champions Night Addis Ababa, presented to you by the President of the IBA, Mr. Umar Kremlov, and the President of the African Boxing Confederation, Mr. Iyasu Wasson. This contest is 8 3-minute rounds in the 80-kilogram weight division. Our sponsors for the evening are Gazprom, IB Challenger, Ethiopian Airways, Smile Dental, and our gold sponsor for the evening are DMC Real Estate. Your officials for this contest, judges at ringside are Sid Ali Mokritari, Sarah Buelel, and Stephen Masiabumbi. Your referee in charge of the action from Afghanistan will be Tamim Sultani. And now it's time to meet the boxers. Introducing to you first, fighting out of the black corner, weighing in at 79.9 kilograms. He comes to the ring with a record which includes 8 wins. 3 of those wins come by way of knockout. He is a former African Games semi-finalist and he represents Tanzania. Yusuf Changalawi. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the gold corner, weighing in the same as his opponent, 79.9 kilograms. His record includes 14 wins, and 4 of those wins come by way of knockout. He is the current reigning African champion. He comes to us representing the Democratic Republic of Congo, Peter
So, gentlemen, head up, no holding, no low blow. Shake your hands and good luck.
In addition to establishing themselves as the best boxers on the continent, unsurprisingly, these two men have each taken fistfuls of national championships in their respective homelands. Outright national championships or selection tournaments to go ahead and earn that spot on national teams to go and represent on the world stage or the continental stage. Changalawi. Again, one thing you can often say, in the overwhelming majority of cases, that when you see a boxer's got an occupation as a soldier, they are invariably in fantastic condition, irrespective of whatever else they bring. Physical conditioning is not going to be an issue for boxers, men and women, who represent their respective nations' military services. Left jab to the body from Kabeji, and then a double left jab followed by a right cross, but then keeping the attack going to make it first and third boxing is Kabeji. Wasn't particularly accurate with the second phase of attack, and nor with his attempt to double left hook to head then body. Changalawi looking to shoot out that left jab from his belt line. There he did get through with it. Again, just bringing it up from that type of angle, on that type of trajectory, could make it difficult to discern for Kabeji. His jab altogether more conventional, being pistoned out from the shoulder. Looking to drop that jab down to the body of Changalawi. Changalawi continuing to flick up that left jab, almost landing with the backhand when it gets through. There he shoots it up on a steep angle once again. Countered by Kabeji, then Kabeji knocking down the attempted incoming fire. You see him use that parry defense with the right glove once again. And as strange as it sounds, sometimes the jabs in particular that are thrown aren't necessarily designed to land. Here we did get through Changalawi. Sometimes it can be just used to establish range or blind the opponent, and the shot that the boxer really wants is the backhand that will follow it. If you can get that leather into the eyes of your opponent, there's a scoring straight shot from Kabeji, countered by Changalawi. If you can get that straight shot to obscure the vision of the disguised backhand, then that can often render the backhand even more dangerous, because, again, the shots which do the most damage are the ones that the boxer doesn't see and nearby can't brace the body for. Oh, there's an overhand right landed by Kabeja. Just before the bell, Peter Kabeji with a looping overhand right. I think it actually landed with the inside of the glove, but he certainly got the attention of Yusuf Changalawi. But he took the shot effectively and makes it back to the sanctuary of his black corner. So another cagey round of boxing, but some wonderful skills demonstrated by both men during the course of that second 3-minute frame. So into the third round then. Both boxers operating from the top of the logo at centre ring. Changalawi looking to sharpen up that lead left. He turned it into a long hook, slapping his man with the inside of his glove as he landed it. Changalawi holding his ground now, and that's why we've got this standoff just on the edge of range. Double jab, so the second one dropped down to the body. Stab jab, thrusted out by Kabeji. Again, each man remaining defensively responsible. That right glove up and around the defensive area doesn't necessarily have to be up by the temple, as Kabeji's proffering it. Lennox Lewis gives a great breakdown, something that he's told me in person, the 1988 Olympic super heavyweight gold medalist, that when he hooked up with Manny Stewart, said Lennox previously used to have the right glove up by his temple, but Manny Stewart said, listen, you're going to be taller than most of the guys you're facing, just bring it down and out a few inches. You'll be able to see the incoming left hook as Kabeji gets through with a good left hook to the body, and then look at that right hand in response downstairs beneath the left hook elbow of Kabeji from Changalawi. Looking for a right uppercut, couldn't find the range, and now this one heating up in the third round. Corkscrew left hand, an effective shot. Good left hook to the body, just brought about a reaction from Changalawi, bent over to his right, and then look how he's keeping that right elbow clamped to his flank, because he may have been tickled beneath the short rib, and looking for that spot once again is Kabeji. Right hand over the top of Changalawi, backed up to the neutral corner, just to the right of our commentary position. Right uppercut turned underneath, good double left hook, the second one did land again on that right side, as Kabeji looking to tenderize the torso of Changalawi with that heavy left hook that he possesses. There's the same shot once again as he continues to tattoo the torso of Yusuf Changalawi. Big swing and a miss with the right hand, comes back with a left hook, does Yusuf Changalawi. Tucking up tightly though, but then look at that sharp shooting success. Punches underneath, being turned beneath the guard and in between the defenses from Yusuf Changalawi. Burst of punches to the body, followed by a left hook in between the gloves. And this one now taking place in the confines of a telephone booth on the top of the logo at centre ring. Toe-to-toe between these two tall light heavyweights. There's the left hook downstairs once more, part of a double hook from Peter Kabeji. Two men standing chest to chest, toe-to-toe, testing the strength of one another on the inside. Each man reluctant to concede ground. Closing seconds of this third round. Looking for the double left hook once more was Kabeji. Did get through with a sneaky right hand in between the gloves of Changalawi. Changalawi inconvenienced on the ropes, got his right hand free, right uppercut, right hook with his back square on the ropes. The closing shots of that third round. What a round. Terrific work to the body with the left hand in particular by this man. But it brought about a response from Changalawi, who began to find holes in Kabeji's defenses on the inside to score with his own offense. Some of the action from the third round, which was invariably taking place at close quarters. There's the vaunted left hook of Kabeji that he was able to score with repeatedly during the course of the third round. But then look at that burst of quality punches through and around the defenses of Kabeji from Yusuf Changalawi. A close round indeed. So we move into the fourth round. Those boxers again operating from the space of center ring. Effective movement around the clock face. Clockwise fashion from Changalawi. Sidestepping to present a different angle to his man. Coming forward behind the right hand. The overhand variety is Kabeji. And Changalawi getting back to work behind that jab once again. Beautiful counter jab to make it first and third boxing. He ended the salvo with a right cross to Changalawi. Changalawi continuing to snake out that left jab from around his belt line. Overhand right from Kabeji, not too far away. He now operating behind a low left hand, behind the half cover guard. Right hand protecting his chin, the left arm protecting his body and torso. Both boxers continue to try and lure their man into the trap. There's an overhand right followed by an inaccurate left hook from Kabeji. An overhand right, he didn't really seem to get much back leg on the shot. Kabeji swung it from the shoulder like a bowler in cricket. Cricket's not particularly big in this part of the world, but it is big in Kenya, in East Africa. Zambia and Zimbabwe, on the continent of Africa, and South Africa, of course. All love the game of cricket as well. Oh, there's another looping roundhouse right. Bowled in by Kabeji. Has caught Changalawi with that shot on a few occasions in this contest. There's the same shot once more, but it's landed with the inside of the glove, and that renders it a slap rather than a legal scoring punch. It must connect with the knuckle part of the glove for it to be a scoring shot. But still, it's going to be coming with some force from the well-conditioned frame of Peter Kabeji. Counter left jab on Changalawi was an effective scoring shot. Good stab jab to the body from Kabeji, but there's a beautiful right-hand lead landed by Changalawi, just catching Kabeji as he was advancing. Didn't really put much on it, but the impact would have been doubled up by the forward movement of the man in the white trimmed with gold. So it's Kabeji continuing to edge his way forwards. Changalawi's got his right hand locked and loaded before accepting this clinch on the inside. Freeing his hands to work away with Kabeji. Lower punch output in this fourth stanza compared to the third, where both men really got busy on the inside. Right hand not too far away from Kabeji, and that was a straighter one than the overhand right that he was warned about, that he was spoken to about for punching incorrectly with the inside of the glove. Another close, competitive round of boxing. One of the overhand rights landed with the inside of the glove from Kabeji. Keeping his composure under fire and able to spin his way out of the corner is Changalawi. So into the fifth round then. addition to their meeting at the Nelson Mandela Cup in Durban early this year, Kabeji also got the better at the semi-final stage of Yusuf Changalawi at the All Africa Games. So that's how much familiarity and respect exists between the two. It's a magnificent run to the gold medal podium in Bukom in Ghana. Contest out of 4 is what was required for Kabeji to pick up that All African Games gold medal, adding to the silver that he won back in 2019 at the edition in Rabat in Morocco. Leaping left hook not too far away from Kabeji. But again, countering with the left hook of his own out of the corner, that's Changalawi. Beautiful counter shot from Changalawi, the leaping left hook from the man in white and gold, inaccurate. There's that same overhand right once again. They have grazed Changalawi with the inside of the glove. Oh, that's a beautiful left hook out of a crouch from Peter Kabeji, bobbing and weaving to get his way into range while avoiding the incoming fire from Changalawi, and then just clip the chin of Changalawi with that leaping left hook. There you see him keeping the head movement going once again as he rumbles forward once more and scores with a good jab to the body. There's an up jab landed with a bent arm from Changalawi, looking for the same shot once again. Just conceding ground. That right hand not too far away, but counter right hand landed in a flash by Changalawi. Peter Kabeji, no stranger to this type of distance, having made his pro debut as recently as June of this year, where he went the 6-round distance. Good double left hand, the one to the body blocked by the elbow, but then a scoring hook upstairs, then inaccurate with the lead left hook, and again piling up points with that pecking, poking right hand lead is Yusuf Changalawi. Terrific work by him in this flurry of punches, penetrating the defenses of Peter Kabeji. Terrific response. The eye-catching power shots coming from Peter Kabeji, but piling up points with pecking, poking punches of his own. Oh, Yusuf Changalawi. So again, that is another age-old question. Is it the power and eye-catching work of this man, or the comparatively consistent punch outputs and point-scoring shots landed by Yusuf Changalawi during the course of that 5th round? Some of the action from that 3-minute frame. So we move into round number 6. What has been an 80-kilogram light heavyweight contest that has kept spectators on the edge of their seat through the 5 completed rounds so far, because both of these men possess plenty of pop in their punches. One mistake, a well-proved terminal. So each of them remaining defensively responsible. Being wary of capitalizing on the seemingly apparent openings being presented by their opponents, as each of them are looking to lay traps. Low held guard, presenting that chin like something of a mirage from Yusuf Changalawi, as he's countered effectively with his right cross on the occasions where Kabeji had looked to take advantage of that seemingly open chin, and Kabeji has done similar also. showing terrific explosivity and reflexes to score to both body and head. It's been a really thoughtful contest through the first 5.5 rounds so far. Scoring jab again from Changalawi. He's had real consistent success with that shot as he uncoils it once more. There's the same shot once again. Right hand lead not too far away from Kabeji. That left jab can be a real nuisance, irritant and deterrent. Changalawi has been busy with it for the majority of the contest. Here he comes forward behind that left-right combination. Oftentimes he just circled away laterally both left and right while snaking out a single jab that has disrupted the rhythm and the balance and the momentum that Kabeji is looking to establish. Right hand lead not too far away, came over the top from Kabeji, and then he kept his pursuit going and scored with 2-3 shots downstairs before looking to bring a hook upstairs to conclude the combination. So Kabeji pinning his man to the ropes once again, Changalawi tying his man up to walk him back across the ring and get himself out of that confined position. Closing seconds of this 6th round. Left hook not too far away from Kabeji. Bobs and weaves his way into range once again. He had the first and final word during that trade-off. His left hand, his 2-shot success punctuated in between by a single shot from Changalawi. Right hand to the body not too far away as Changalawi looked for a right hand over the top after spinning off the ropes, couldn't quite find the range. Some of the action from round number 6. So into round 7 then. Changalawi looking to get busy with that lead left jab once again. Kabeji looking to proffer feints on the edge of range here now, stamping over that front foot. But in the meantime, just look at the activity on that lead left from Changalawi. A single left jab came in response from Kabeji. But in the meantime, he's continuing to rattle out that lead left hand like a trip hammer is Changalawi. There it is in evidence once again and again to make it first and third boxing for the man in black trimmed with gold. Really busy with the lead left. Doing a good job blocking and parrying it on occasion with Kabeji, but because he's doing that with his own hands, he's not been able to get his own offense away for the majority of the first minute of this 7th round. There's another scoring left jab in between the gloves of Kabeji, knocking his braided head back. Wonderful use of the lead left in the first minute of this 7th round by Changalawi. There he brings the right hand into play. Roundhouse right reached for, but not finding the range from Kabeji. And this is terrific boxing at distance. Left hook glances the chin of Changalawi. Right uppercut turned underneath by Changalawi. Bull rush forward from Kabeji. Kept the attack going, but made to miss by Changalawi. There's a left hook from Kabeji, which does land on the jaw of Changalawi. Surely he doesn't want to be stood square on the ropes as he is now, and that's why he's picked off by a left hand. And another one comes crashing in from Kabeji, who enjoys a good portion of the round with the big, tall, broad-shouldered figure of Yusuf Changalawi standing square on the ropes. That makes it a full-size target. And when you're as potent a puncher as Peter Kabeji, who's going body hunting, but then was short of the mark and picked off by a couple of uppercuts from Changalawi, but surely he doesn't want to be in this position here. Right hand success again because he's totally square. The target couldn't be any bigger for Peter Kabeji, and in each instance in this 7th round where he's come square on the ropes, Kabeji has enjoyed success. It's a nice movement by dipping at the knees and then walking back into the front door to shovel punches into the belt line. Good work to the body from Kabeji in the closing seconds of this 7th round. Changalawi's put an awful lot into the first 2.5 minutes where his lead jab was really accurate, but then on a couple of occasions he stood square on the ropes. Kabeji has enjoyed success. That has encouraged him as he continues to haul punches just above the belt line of Peter Kabeji. So not quite a round of two halves as Changalawi responds with body shots of his own. Nice movement in the pocket from Kabeji, and after making his man miss, did score to the body. Terrific round of boxing, because Yusuf Changalawi was seemingly in a really good position for the first perhaps 2 minutes behind his lead left jab, snaking it up from his belt line, turning it through the middle, but then he came square on the ropes, invited pressure. This man capitalized and enjoyed a strong conclusion to the round. But is it enough to enjoy the points that were piled up to get the better of the round and overcome the points that were piled up by Changalawi's accurate lead left stick for the first 2 minutes of that 7th round? So some running repairs just made to the turnbuckle over in that black corner. And the 8th and final round is underway in what has been a terrifically competitive 80-kilogram light heavyweight contest so far. Yusuf Changalawi, the 2023 African Continental bronze medalist, the reigning Commonwealth Games bronze medalist from Birmingham 2 years ago, has used this shot to terrific effect for the first 2 minutes of round number 7, and to begin round number 8. It's been a prominent weapon in his armory, but Peter Kabeji has bobbed and weaved and rumbled his way forwards, and in the final minute of the 7th round he got his man in this position here and then hauled in heavy leather to Changalawi's body. Changalawi seemingly learning from the errors of judgment that he made in the 7th round, and tied his man up immediately when he came square on the ropes, walked him back to the space of center ring, and now looking to maintain the gap between himself and Kabeji with that lead left hand. And that was wonderful boxing from Changalawi, because he kept his man at bay with the lead left. The overhand right came in, it was dealt with defensively, and he countered with a clever quick right hand of his own. Halfway through the 8th and final round, as Kabeji looking to work his way back into his preferred punching territory once again. That's mid and short range, where he can let those bent arm punches go, particularly to the long, lean torso. And there's a roundhouse right upstairs landed with a bent arm by Kabeji. Changalawi up on his toes, but he's standing square on the ropes once again, and that brings Kabeji right back into it, and he lands with a 3-shot combination. So Kabeji, is he able to keep the movement going for the final minute of this 8th and final round? Because the moment he holds his feet, he's invariably square on the ropes, and Kabeji is right back into his wheelhouse and scoring effectively to both body and head. And Kabeji remaining on his chest, looking for heavy offense on the inside. Changalawi not able to free his arms. There he's looking for the right uppercut. Kabeji with a good left hook down to the body. Both boxers perhaps feeling the pace here deep into this 8th and final round. A moment of sustained quality could well prove decisive. Right uppercut was sought by Changalawi. He did score with a right hook around the corner. Peter Kabeji comes back with good work to the body from both flanks. Toe-to-toe stuff in the closing stages of this 8th and final round. As the boxers continuing to lean on and grapple on the inside, will they be able to free their hands and produce a moment of eye-catching quality to impress the judges before the bell? Changalawi able to get up on his toes, dance away counterclockwise to his right. Counter shot from him after the roundhouse right of Kabeji was inaccurate. And both men continuing to look for space for their offense. Burst of punches to both body and head from Kabeji. He thinks he's done enough, so too does Changalawi. And that was a terrific contest between boxers of contrasting physiques and contrasting styles. This man's work on the inside was notable, had repeated success with his overhand right, worked away well to the body when he was able to bob and weave his way into range, but this man's lead left jab was a fantastic weapon in his repertoire during the course of this contest as well. So it's likely to be, well, it wouldn't surprise me if it was a split decision, but who is going to have their hand raised as the victor here? I think it's incredibly close. And many of the rounds, who would the close rounds have been scored for? Because each boxer enjoyed success in their preferred territories. Changalawi, sometimes the eye-catching work with the jab in the first couple of minutes, particularly in the 7th round, only for Kabeji to come on strong in the final minute of the round with good work to the body. So it's an incredibly close affair. Kabeji is in no doubt that he has done enough to be declared the victor and maintain his supremacy in this rivalry with Yusuf Changalawi. But again, the work of Changalawi, particularly behind that long left jab, cannot be discounted. And both men throwing some shapes up in the boxing ring. Changalawi draped between or beneath his East African national flag of Tanzania. DR Congo's Peter Kabeji thinks that he's done enough as well. This could well be a split decision. Which way is it going to go?
Ladies and gentlemen, after 8 rounds of boxing, we go to our judges' scorecards, where we have a split decision in favor of your winner. In the black corner,
and it is Kabeji.
Representing Tanzania.
Oh, excuse me, I stand corrected. It's Yusuf Changalawi out of the black corner, a split decision victor. His lead left hand, surely a crucial component in what was a terrifically competitive performance. And now he's finding more energy to continue to shimmy his way through the night here at the arena in the Adwa Museum. But what a fantastic contest, and wonderful to see that respect between two familiar rivals. On this occasion, over the 8-round duration, it is Yusuf Changalawi who has been declared a split decision victor. But Peter Kabeji playing his part in what was a fantastic affair to behold. Very little in it, nip and tuck all the way, but again, the activity and the accuracy with that lead left hand from Yusuf Changalawi could not be discounted, and that is what has seen him crowned as a split decision victor over Peter Kabeji.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is now time for our main event of the evening. 8 rounds of boxing for the IBA African Flyweight title. Please welcome to the ring first, in the black corner, representing Ghana, Theophilus Alote.
So approaching the boxing ring is 22-year-old Theophilus Alossi from Ghana. Undefeated 2-0 professional in the paid code. These two men met on the stage of the World Championship in the Humo Arena in Tashkent last year. And on that occasion, it was Patrick Chinyemba, Alossi's opponent tonight, who prevailed on a split decision verdict over the man he's about to face off against. That was in the second preliminary round. But Theophilus Alossi, an incredibly accomplished operator. And there's been plenty of back and forth between these two men.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome his opponent coming to us in the gold corner, representing Zambia, Patrick Chinyemba.
So into the ring, beneath that familiar copper-colored fade, is Patrick Chinyemba. 2022 Commonwealth Games bronze medalist at 52 kilograms, quarter-finalist at last year's World Championship, where he beat Theophilus Alossi en route to that 7th place finish. An Olympian in Tokyo 3 years ago, where he lost an incredibly tight 3-2 split decision verdict against the eventual gold medalist Galalia Fight in the second preliminary round. His unorthodox style, unconventional style behind quick reflexes and fantastic footwork makes this man a handful indeed.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, as this is an IBA title fight, we will follow protocol and respect the national anthems of both boxers. So please, if you are able, be upstanding for the national anthem of Ghana. National anthem of our main event of the evening. It's 8 rounds of boxing for the IBA African Flyweight title, presented to you by President of the IBA, Mr. Umar Kremelov, and President of the African Boxing Confederation, Mr. Iyasu Wasson. Our sponsors for this evening are Gazprom, IB Challenger, Ethiopian Airlines, Abyssinia Bank, Smile Dental, and our gold sponsors this evening are DMC Real Estates. Our officials for this contest, judges at ringside, are Sid Ali Mokretari, Stephen Masiabumbi, and Tamim Sultani. Your referee in charge of the action from Tunisia will be Sarah Boulel. And now, ladies and gentlemen, our viewers are ready for action. Our boxers are ready for action. Let me ask you, Addis Ababa, are you ready for action? Introducing to you first, fighting out of the black corner, weighing in at 50.95 kilograms. He comes to the ring with 7 wins to his name, and he is an African Games bronze medalist. He comes to us representing Ghana, Theophilus Alossi. And his opponent across the ring, fighting out of the gold corner, weighing in at 51 kilograms even. His record includes 15 wins. 2 of those wins come by knockout. He is a former African Games champion and a former Commonwealth Games bronze medalist, representing Zambia, Patrick Chinyemba.
Boxers, keep your heads up, no holding and no low blow. Listen to my commands. Check your hands. Good luck.
Is underway here at the Addunyaa Arena. And Ghana. Boxer wearing the white trunks, trimmed with gold, is Patrick Chinyemba, 23 years of age, from Lusaka in Zambia. On the front foot, but keeping his composure to dip beneath the incoming fire and counter effectively, is Theophilus Aloti. 22 years of age, from the West African nation. These 2 boxers met before at the 2024 All-Africa Games that took place in Bukom, on the outskirts of Accra in Ghana. On that occasion, it was Patrick Chinyemba who prevailed en route to the gold medal plinth at the 2024 All-Africa Games boxing tournament. Consolidating his position as one of the very best boxers in the tournament, Aloti not too far away with the right hand to lead off that exchange. But in 2022, Chinyemba took African continental gold in Mozambique at 51 kilograms. So Aloti, less experience on the international stage, but he is undefeated in the professional ranks, having won both of his contests, having made his debut in July, and then got a second contest in at the start of this month in the professional ranks. Again, each man has had plenty to say in a bid to try and unsettle the other. In the lead up to this contest there, that back foot just coming through to render Aloti a southpaw momentarily, but he was able to pull it back to getting back to the orthodox stance. It's Chinyemba on the front foot behind that half-cover guard where he's covering his torso. Good right hand into the body, driven in by Chinyemba, countered by a right hand over the top, resulting in a trade-off by Aloti. Good defense with the left hand from Aloti to cover his body from that stab jab downstairs from Chinyemba. A 2-shot flurry to get himself out of the corner from Aloti. Beautiful burst of punches downstairs from Chinyemba. He's able to fire in those shots with terrific rapidity. Despite him being a long-arm boxer at this particular weight, they see him tucking his chin behind his shoulder once again. Just Euro stepping his way forwards behind that half-cover guard that he likes to work behind. So Aloti operating with his back, skimming the ropes. Currently near his own corner. Chinyemba cutting off the ring, single shot fired in, pushing off the back foot from Aloti. So Aloti up on his toes as the boxers let straight punches go on the sound of the bell. Some of the action from that opening round. Chinyemba with a good right hand to the body and left hook upstairs. That was the action where the two men punching right up to the bell to conclude the first. Well, once again, it's the tardy exit from the corners by both sets of coaches, which gives the boxers far more recovery than they are permitted as we move into the second round. And again, hot stepping on the canvas at center ring is Chinyemba, just trying to distract Alotti, but he's remaining focused and scores with a good series of jabs to the body. Chinyemba countering the activity with a scoring jab of his own. Alotti, mean mugging and making faces, scored with a right hand lead and ends with that same shot once again, trying to get inside the mind and distract Chinyemba, but I think Chinyemba's too experienced to fall for any of those attempted distractions. A lead left hook is a scoring shot from Alotti. Now Chinyemba in search of his get back, good left hook to the body with Alotti pinned on the ropes. So Chinyemba remaining on the front foot. Alotti, despite the success that he's enjoyed in this first minute of the second round, as he takes a strong right cross to the body and then slapping left hook upstairs. He's got to be careful. Oh, beautiful burst of punches beneath the elbows of Alotti from Chinyemba, and he keeps the attack going, moving the attack upstairs. And again, Alotti's got to show something here, because even when he was successful, he's scoring on the back foot, and he could be guilty of throwing what Mickey Duff used to call "don't hit me" punches. Busy, they were scoring shots, but if you're constantly going backwards and then being worked over downstairs as he is through this passage of the round, he's remaining defensively responsible, putting up that right glove to his temple. But after a strong start to the round, Chinyemba has come on strong in the recent 40 seconds or so of this round. And Alotti, maybe he's got to stand his ground on occasion, move around the target if he wants to maintain the gap, because constantly being on the ring perimeter, it can be construed and perceived as negative by the judges. They will look for a counter right hand once again. And I'm sure his corner will have noted this movement, going from one corner to the other practically during this passage of the round. And starting the round mugging and gurning in the direction of Chinyemba. Well, he's altogether more locked in and concentrated here now, as Chinyemba switches to the southpaw stance. Now he's back as an orthodox boxer. His work to the body is notable indeed through his most successful portion of the round. I wonder to what extent those body shots have taken the wind out of Alotti's sails. There he catapults off the ropes and comes forward behind a left-right combination. He didn't necessarily have much purchase on it. There's Chinyemba looking altogether more dynamic and active and alert in the closing seconds. Counter left hook off the back foot from Alotti spurs him into life on the 10-second clapper. And again, he resumes the mugging, trying to get inside the mind of Chinyemba, but I think Chinyemba knows that's a job well done in the second round. And Alotti, I think those body shots took some pep out of his step, because he started the round brightly, on the back foot, scoring effectively. But then Chinyemba said, okay, you finished, and began to work away, with Alotti invariably standing square on the ropes, and Chinyemba enjoyed some terrific success during the final 2 minutes or thereabouts of the second round. So we move into the third round then, the inaugural IBA Continental African Championship belt up for grabs at 51 kilograms in this contest between familiar adversaries once they are in the ring, of course. This is sport, nothing more than that. Reaching for the right hand as Alotti has come out and is making an adjustment, operating from the space of centre ring rather than skitting around the perimeter, as he's done for the majority of the first 2 rounds. So now Chinyemba cannot walk forwards with impunity because Alotti is standing his ground and going to make him pay a price in the form of straight punches rather than conceding ground and being driven backwards to the ropes as he was for the final 2 minutes of the second round. Scoring left jab to the body from Chinyemba. And he didn't really take his feet with him on an attempted 1-2 combination, and the right hand came back in ponderous fashion for a boxer as quick as Chinyemba. I'm sure he will have processed that information and be looking to counter with a rapid-fire left hook. So just need some adjustments to the belt line of Alotti. After that tumble to the canvas, I think the protective cut rode up a little too high. So referee Masira Bilal guiding him back to his corner, and the necessary adjustments made, and the action resumes. Good scoring jab to the body from Chinyemba. Alotti getting busy with his own lead left hand. Right hand that followed was inaccurate. So Chinyemba just circling his man, moving clockwise to his left. Alotti coming forward with the right hand, but it goes over the top of the copper-colored hair of Chinyemba. Leaping left hook again was fired from out of range by Alotti. There, the right cross was altogether more accurate as he continues to edge his way forwards behind the half-cover guard, chin tucked behind his shoulder and protecting his abdomen with his left forearm. Right hand protecting his jaw. So right hand attempted to the body by Chinyemba. Left jab that followed was altogether more accurate. Now both hands contemptuously low by Alotti, trusting his chin, trusting his reflexes. And he'll be able to weave away from the incoming offense from Chinyemba. Right hand around the corner from Alotti, not too far away during that flailing exchange. So Chinyemba forward behind a right hand left hook, going for a flashy right uppercut, burst of shoe shine punches to the body of Alotti. He's operating behind that half-cover cross-arm guard once again. Roundhouse right's a scoring shot from Alotti. And Alotti just disengaging before the bell sounds to conclude round number 3. Well, a good response from Theophilus Alotti compared to the back foot boxing, which could have been construed as running in the final 2 minutes of round number 2. Stood his ground, moved around the target, enjoyed success, but so too did the man in the gold corner. So time in called, and round 4 is underway. Chinyemba, who was the first African winner on the IBA Champions Night stage when he defeated Russia's Artur Nagabachyan in Dagestan, in Dushanbe in Tajikistan. Here he is boxing for the African Continental Belt in Ethiopia. And Alotti doing a much better job of standing his ground here now. Both men just bobbing and weaving on the edge of range. Roundhouse right was a slap from Alotti, kept the attack going. Second untimely trip to the canvas by Alotti. Remember, he is an undefeated professional, having made his pro debut. That's a cracking left-right combination on the resumption. But given the amount of time he took to get up, as Chinyemba working the body beneath the elbows of Alotti, and he continues to go body hunting through this middle phase of the fourth round. But given the amount of time he took to get up, I'm wondering whether Alotti is feeling the pace here now. His punches taking on a languid quality. You can see the big lungfuls of oxygen that he's sucking in. Has Chinyemba recognized that? Again, he's far closer than I from a ringside commentary position here, and look, he's struggling to maintain his boxing stance once more. That's his second trip to the canvas in this round, his third trip to the canvas in the contest, and he's taking a relative eternity to get back to his feet. Now Chinyemba sprinting back out to center ring. Will he go in search of the body once more? Because if Alotti is feeling the pace, sinking in heavy leather downstairs will surely test the man's energy levels and resolve. So Chinyemba continuing to stalk his man. Right hand attempted by Alotti, but it landed with the crook of his elbow. Oh, that's a beautiful right hand dug into the body, and it's another trip down to the canvas, and this time it's going to, well, is it going to be called a knockdown? I thought it was. It looked like it was a body shot that helped him on his way down, and there is the count forthcoming. But it was a while before the count was taken up. Looks to his corner, makes it back to his feet, and I think Alotti is a boxer fighting on fumes here now in the closing stages of this fourth round. Bad body language, he's complaining that he's been hit low. Oh my goodness. Well, contest is over. What a conclusion to the contest. Bad body language was being emanated from Theophilus Alotti. His energy levels seemed to drain alarmingly quickly from his perspective in that fourth round. Taking repeated trips to the canvas, couldn't hold his boxing stance beneath him. Credit to Patrick Chinyemba, he recognized that, targeted the man downstairs, showing his intelligence in the boxing ring. Alotti complaining that it's a low blow, but whether it was an excessive exertion of nervous energy or whether the intensity of this man's exertion drained the man mentally, but it was an alarming and dramatic conclusion to the contest. His punches taking on a languid quality. He was showing bad body language throughout. Here
Make some noise for both of these boxers.
Patrick Chinyemba, who has just claimed
Ladies and gentlemen, before we crown the IBA African champion, let me please welcome to the ring some very special VIP presenters. Mr. Iyasu Wasson, President of the African Boxing Confederation. Shewit Shanko, the Minister of Culture and Sport. And Tilahun Kebede, the President of the Southern Ethiopian region. As well as our IBA technical delegate, Mr. Godavari Singh Rajkumar. If you could please make your way to the ring, our VIP presentation party.
He's below the bed, but he never took it.
Ladies and gentlemen, your referee calls the halt to the contest in round number 4, declaring your winner by TKO in the gold corner, representing Zambia, Patrick Chinyemba.
But again, the sport of boxing can bring a
Jerusalem, ikayalami, ilondoloze, uhambe nami.
Devastating body punching to get the better of his familiar rival Temesgen Mitiku of Ethiopia. Then we had some cracking contests at flyweight. Edmund Hurian beat the former IBF mini flyweight champion Daniel Valadares of Mexico. Temeta Shusupov and Nodirjon Muzakmedov of Uzbekistan engaged in a pulsating affair over 8 3-minute rounds at flyweight. Yusuf Changalawi edged out Peter Kabeji in a thrilling light heavyweight encounter at 80 kilograms. And then in our main event, Patrick Chinyemba breaking down and ultimately stopping Theophilus Aloti of Ghana in the 4th round of a contest scheduled for 8 to claim the inaugural IBF Continental Crown. So we'll leave you with images of some of the fight action that unfolded throughout the night here in this inaugural African IBA Champions Night event. The Adwa Museum has proved to be a magnificent arena, and the fans in attendance generated the most wonderful atmosphere. So it just remains for me, Ronald McIntosh, on behalf of the entire team that brought you this production, to say thank you for staying with us, and stay across the IBA social channels for the latest news, updates and information about IBA Champions Night events, which continue in earnest. First of all in Venezuela, and then just after that in Cuba for the International Boxing Day, coinciding with the 50th anniversary of the first ever IBA Men's World Boxing Championships. Thank you once again for staying with us, and we'll see you again very soon. Bye for now.